Okay, first semester exam review. Problem 1, which number line shows the graphs of square root of 8 and negative square root of 11? Well, basically you have to graph this. Here they are. The square root of 8 is just less than the square root of 9. The square root of 9 is 3, so that's how I got that point. This is negative 2 3/4, so negative 2 3/4 would be right about there. Number 2, this one's worded funny here, but if you're doing a problem and you want to know if you travel for 2.5 hours at 50 miles per hour, how far have you traveled? What is the unit analysis to check the problem? Well, it's going to be hours times miles per hour. Okay, and then we would simplify this, but I will tell you on the exam it is not simplified, so look for that. Number 3, evaluate. Here's the problem. Plug them in, do the math. 9 is the answer. Number 4, solve the equation. Okay, 8x plus 3 is 27. X equals 3. You can see the steps. Number 5, use an equation to model the sentence. How many raisins are left in a jar after 71 raisins after you have eaten some? And we don't know how many we've eaten, so that's x. So 71 minus x. Number 6, if the pattern continues, how many white triangles would there be? Well, you can do this numerically. There's 0 in the first, 1, 3, 6. The next one would be 10. And how did I get 10? The difference between the terms is 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your pattern. Number 7, solve the inequality. The absolute value of g minus 3 is greater than or equal to 4. That means that either g minus 3 is greater than or equal to 4, or the opposite of g minus 3 is greater than or equal to 4. So, go through this, solve it. We have g is greater than or equal to 7, and then or g is less than or equal to -1. The solution said if we had to graph it would look like this. Solid dots. This is an inequality in one variable gets a number line for graphing. Number 8, right? Draw a graph that represents the following situations. As Scruggs begins to play in a basketball game, his heart rate increases. After the coach asks him to take a break, his heart rate begins to decrease. After the coach benches him, his heart rate is steady. Well, heart rate is going to be on the y-axis, time is going to be on the x-axis. So his heart rate is increasing as he plays the game. Coach told him to take a break, so it slows down, and then he made him sit on the bench, so it levels off. Number 9, find the slope between the 2 points. Your slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I like to label my points x1, y1, x2, y2, so therefore I don't make any mistakes when I'm plugging them in. 1 minus 3 over -5 minus 0 simplifies to -2 over -5, which is 2/5. Number 10, graph. Graph the equations. Okay, x plus y equals 3. When you're given an equation of a line in standard form, I like to use finding the x and y intercepts. Okay, to do that, just make a simple table of values. You're going to make x 0 and y 0, plug them in and go. When x is 0, y is 3. When y is 0, x is 3. Plot the points, draw the line. Number 11, graphing again. And again, it's in standard form, so I'm using finding the x and y intercepts. When x is 0, y is -2. When y is 0, x is 5. Plot the points and graph. Number 12, same situation. Okay. Number 13, this one is a horizontal line. If there is no x, then it is a horizontal line. If there is no y, then it is a vertical line. And here it is. Number 14. Write the equation of the line that has slope -2 and y-intercept of 3. Well, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Plug in m and b, so y equals -2x plus 3. We're done. Number 15. Write the equation of the line parallel to this line and through this point. Okay? Parallel means that their slopes are equal. So m equals 4. Once you look at this one and you get the slope, you're done with it. So cross it out. Now, using point slope form, plug in the point. Remember, point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, where your point is x1, y1. So y minus -4 is y plus 4 equals 4 times x minus 3. We have to write our answer in slope-intercept form, so we distribute, move the 4 over, y equals 4x minus 16. Okay. Number 16 is write the equation of a line that's perpendicular to this one and through this point. Okay. Perpendicular means that the opposite slopes, or the opposite reciprocals, are the slopes. Okay, so the opposite reciprocal of 2/3 is -3/2. I'm done with this equation. Cross it out. Now, looking at the point, Merry Christmas. It is the y-intercept. That is nice. So I'm giving you the slope and the y-intercept, so we plug them in and go. $17. Write an equation to model the following situation. A music club membership costs $29 and $10 per CD. If X are your CDs, what's the total cost? So Y equals 10X plus 29. 29 was the flat rate. 19. Ooh, I skipped 18. Shame on me. I'll come back to 18. 19. All items in a store are on sale for 35% off the original price. Explain in words the dependent variable and the independent variables that represent the functional relationship between the sale price of an item and the original price. Well, all you have to do is one sentence. The sale price depends on the original price. Okay? The original price is your independent variable, so your sale price is your dependent variable, so therefore the sale price depends on the original price. Number 20. Which equation represents a scatter plot? Write the equation that represents a scatter plot, is what it should say. When I first did this problem, I actually got y equals 5x plus 4. Okay. In the problem, or on the exam, it's multiple choice. You've got to pick the one that's right. Okay. The answer key said y equals 5x plus 3. Now, I looked at the graph, and I see that my scale on the side is 5. It goes 5, 10, 15, 20. And these are all equally spaced, and it looks like they're all going up about 5 units. So I went up 5 over 1, up 5 over 1. That's how I got the slope, just by looking at this. Then I just kind of estimated, okay, where is it going to cross the y-axis? I guessed 4 when I first looked at it, but the answer key said 3. Like I said, multiple choice test, you have to find the best answer. 21. Without using graphic technology, sketch the parent graph and translate it to obtain the graph of blah, blah, blah. I didn't sketch the parent graph, shame on me. But the parent graph is simply a V right there. So to graph this, we've got y plus 4 equals the absolute value of x plus 3. Move the 4 over, so you subtract it. Y equals x plus 3, the absolute value of that, minus 4. Inside the absolute value, this is your horizontal change, and it's the opposite. Remember, good twin, bad twin? X is the bad twin because it does the opposite of what you expect. This is plus 3, so it's going to move in the direction, in the negative direction. And then this is negative 4. That is going to be your vertical change. Things outside change vertically. So y is the good twin. It does exactly what you expect. You move it down 4. 22. Solve the linear system by graphing. Okay. Here's our system. We've got 2 lines to graph. We've got x plus y equals negative 1. And I used the intercepts to graph that line. That's this line here in black. I got negative 1 here, and your y-intercept is also negative 1. Our slope is negative 1, so I go over 1, down 1, over 1, down 1, over 1, down 1, over 1, down 1. That's how I graph this line. The next one, move over the 3x. We got y equals negative 3x plus 5. Slope-intercept form. Plot the y-intercept. Down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1. And we'll see that the point of intersection is at the point 3, negative 4. That is the solution. '23 and 24, and actually 25, say to solve by graphing, but we need to practice the other ways too. So I decided to do these by substitution. Solving this system of equations by substitution, since y is solved for in the second equation, I just plug it into the first. So y plus negative 3x minus 3 equals 3. Okay, so y minus 3x, so on and so forth. You can see I got x equals negative 3. Now once you've got x, you have to get y. You could plug x in here to get y, or here, it doesn't matter. I used this equation because there was less to do with it. So negative 3 plus y equals 3. Add 3 to both sides, y is 6. Same type of problem. Okay, same type of problem. I'll leave that for you to look at.